kids! Welcome to our lesson for today. Remember, we have been learning about the life of Jesus Christ. And remember, last time we learned about the first miracle that Jesus ever performed. He turned water into wine. And we learned that that was not a very important thing for Jesus to do, but he still did it. So we learned that God can do anything. Even the things that we think are very small and very unimportant, Jesus can still do them. So now we are going to continue to see what happens in the life of Jesus Christ. So once or twice every year, every Jewish family traveled to Jerusalem to go and see the beautiful temple. But on the Sabbath, they went to the synagogues in their own towns. So a synagogue is just a building that people used to go on the Sabbath and scriptures will be read to them. So it was just a building. And on other days, other than the Sabbath, this building was used as a school or as a law court. So, Jesus and his disciples were traveling and they visited a town that was next to where Andrew and Peter lived along the Lake Galilee. And this town was called Capernaum. So while Jesus and his disciples were in Capernaum, they visited the synagogue. And when Jesus entered the synagogue, he was asked to go up and to read the scriptures. So this is what normally happened at the synagogue. The scriptures would be read, and then the person who was reading the scriptures would teach and explain to the people what the scriptures meant. So Jesus went up and he read the scriptures to the people. But he was different from all of the other teachers, because the other teachers, they would just quote other teachers, which means that they would just repeat what someone else had said when they were trying to explain the scriptures. But Jesus did not do this. He explained the scriptures and helped the people understand exactly what God meant in each of the scriptures. That is how he explained the scriptures to the people. So when the preaching was going on and everyone was listening, everyone was concentrating, there was a loud, piercing scream. And everyone was shocked. And when they all looked back, they saw a wild-looking man. And he shouted at Jesus and said, "What are you doing here? Have you come to destroy us? You are the Son of God." So, Jesus looked at this wild-looking man who was screaming and shouting and causing a big commotion, and he knew that an evil spirit from Satan had come and taken over the man's body and the man's mind. So Jesus looked at the man and he commanded in a loud voice and he said, "Be quiet. Come out of this man and leave him in peace." Now, Jesus has command and authority and power over everything, even an evil spirit from Satan. So the evil spirit had no choice. It had to obey the command from Jesus. So when Jesus had commanded this, the man's body began to shake very, very loudly. He shook and then he was quiet. He was calm and he was peaceful and he lay there very peacefully. And everyone was watching and they looked at each other and they were happy and they told each other, "Who is this man? Who is this teacher?" Because he explains God's word very well and he is not like other rabbis. He explains God's word to us in a way that we can understand. And he is so powerful that even the evil spirits listen to him. So children, what we learn from this story about Jesus telling an evil spirit to get out and the evil spirit needing to obey the command of Jesus is that Jesus has power and authority over everything and over anything. So it doesn't matter what it is you're going through, what it is you can't do. Jesus has power and authority over everything, even an evil spirit from the devil. So now it's time for us to sing our song. So everyone stand up and help us sing this song. Okay, kids, it's time for us to sing our song. Now, we've just learned that Jesus has all of the power and all of the authority, even over evil spirits sent by the devil. So now we're gonna sing a song that says God is super big, super strong, and super wonderful, to remind us that He has all of the authority and all of the power. So everyone stand up and help us sing this song. My God is strong. He'll do anything big or small. Nothing is impossible for a super wonderful God. My God is strong. He'll do anything big or small. Nothing is impossible for a super wonderful God. Every day I can know God is always there for me and my family. Every day I can know greater is the one who lives inside me. Super big, super strong, super wonderful God. 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 Yay! Okay, kids, it's time to do our craft. Now, we've just talked about the power and authority that Jesus had. He even was able to command an evil spirit sent by the devil. So God has all of the power and all of the authority. So to remember this story, we are going to create a sign. And every time you look at this sign, you will remember that Jesus has all of the power and all of the authority. So help us create our sign. We took a piece of manila paper and cut it into the shape of an octagon. An octagon is a shape that has 8 sides. So we cut it out. Then we have a straw here. So we're going to use this to connect our sign. Then you can hang this in your room or around you. So whenever you look at it, it will remind you about the power and the authority that Jesus had. So on this sign, we're going to write where the story comes from and what happens in the story. So this story of ours comes from the book of Mark, chapter 1. Okay, and in Mark chapter 1, Jesus says, so at the top we're going to write Jesus says, Jesus said, "Be quiet, evil spirit." Come out of the man and leave him in peace. Okay, now last thing I'm going to do is outline my sign. So whenever I see this sign, I will remember the story of Jesus and how he told the man how he told the evil spirit to come out of the man and to leave him in peace. Okay, now finally we need our sign to have a stand. So I want you to take your straw and just put it at the center of your paper and staple everything together. Okay, so this is our craft for today. So whenever you look at this craft, you will remember that Jesus has all of the power and all of the authority, even over evil spirits sent by the devil, because Jesus said, "Come out of the man, evil spirit. Be quiet and leave him in peace." So this has been our lesson for today. We'll see you next time. Bye.